Oh my God. What is this? Just when my belly is doing its business, I find you wenching with Mistress Seymour.
Sweetheart.
Even in such a tense moment, Henry's first reaction was still to protect his mistress. To prevent Jane from being accused by the Queen, he told Jane to leave immediately. But this only agitated Anne even more. She couldn't tolerate her husband's betrayal. So even though her abdomen was in terrible pain, she refused to let Henry touch her. But for the sake of the child she was carrying, Henry had no choice but to hold her tightly. He begged her to calm down. Initially, they both thought the child was safe, but an accident still happened.
My boy! Get some help! No, hurry! No! No, 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 no!
This was Anne's second miscarriage. Baby died in her womb. Anne's hands were covered with fresh blood. She was completely broken. She kept stopping the maids from summoning the royal doctor. But even so, Henry received the news immediately. He burst angrily into Anne's room, but he didn't go there out of concern.
You've lost my boy. I cannot speak of it. The loss is too great. But I see now that God will not grant me any male children.
Henry was very clear about one thing. This was his fault, but he refused to admit it. 2 miscarriages in a row had completely exhausted his patience, so he started considering divorce again. Meanwhile, Anne sensed danger. She desperately wanted to keep her queen status. She quickly sought help from the French ambassador. She begged him to convince the French king. She wanted him to agree. Her young prince should marry her daughter Elizabeth. This was the only solution she could think of. After all, she had made too many enemies. She didn't know who else in the entire palace she could turn to, but she didn't know something. Even this last attempt wouldn't work, because Henry had already brought his mistress Jane into the palace. He not only sent her a pendant, it had his own portrait on it, but he also arranged her room to be next to his. Seeing Jane publicly replace her position next to Henry, Anne felt like she was being suffocated by bitterness, so she tried to beg Henry for forgiveness.
You were not a virgin when you married me. You were not what you seemed. Your father and your brother arranged everything.
No! I loved you! I loved you! And I love you still. Please, after everything we've been to each other, after everything we were.
However, Henry still wouldn't budge, so Anne could only ask Henry something. She asked him to remember their years as a couple. She asked him to give her one more chance, but what she didn't expect was how ruthless Henry would be. He pushed her and their daughter aside, then he walked away without hesitation. Anne fell into complete despair. It turned out that not long ago, rumors had circulated in the court. People said she had already been unfaithful. This made Henry, who already wanted a divorce, even unhappier. So Henry ordered Cromwell to investigate immediately. Under Cromwell's harsh interrogation, every man who had any contact with Anne was branded with adultery. This included even Anne's brother George. Cromwell used every cruel method he could. He forced him to confess. But even so, George refused to admit anything because the accusations were completely fabricated. But they didn't know something. Their father Thomas, to save himself, betrayed them. He not only put all the blame on them, he even admitted their so-called adultery and incest. Anne wasn't surprised when she heard the accusations. She knew that nothing she did now would change anything. All she could do was obey Henry's commands. She was escorted to the Tower of London. At first, she kept telling herself not to be afraid. But when she saw George being brought to the execution ground, beheaded in front of the crowd for incest, she couldn't hold on anymore.